All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about something really cool inside Azure Fabric today, real-time analytics. And listen, this is not just some add-on tool. We're talking about a fully integrated system that's built from the ground up to handle data that's, well, constantly on the move. So you might be asking, why should I care? Well, think about it. Every business wants those instant insights, right? Whether it's catching fraud the second a card is swiped or knowing exactly where a package is in its journey. The need is huge, but the problem has always been the how. Building the tech to do this? Man, it's traditionally been a massive headache, slow, complicated, and just plain painful. And that really gets to the heart of it. We call it the piecemeal stack. For years, what did you have to do? You had to basically duct tape a bunch of different tools together. You'd use something like Kafka for getting the data, then maybe Spark to chew on it, and a totally separate tool to actually see what's going on. The analogy here is perfect. It's like trying to build a high-performance car using parts from 10 different factories. Yeah, it might technically work, but it's going to be clunky, inefficient, and a nightmare to maintain. And that's exactly the headache that Fabric's real-time analytics is designed to eliminate. It says, forget that complicated chain of tools. Instead, it gives you one single unified platform. So let's dig in and see what that actually looks like in practice. Okay, this slide really lays it out, doesn't it? Look at the left. That's the old way. It's a jumbled mess of separate technologies you have to stitch together manually. Now look at the right. That's the Fabric way. It's clean, it's streamlined, and everything just works together out of the box. We're talking about a massive, massive drop in complexity here. It's night and day. All right, so it sounds great in theory, but how does Fabric actually do it? Let's follow a piece of data on its journey, right from the source all the way through to becoming a useful insight. Okay, let's walk through this step by step. First, you've got your data sources. Think IoT sensors, website clicks, you name it. That data immediately flows into something called event streams. Think of that as the front door. From there, it lands in one leg, which is pretty much what it sounds like, one central leg for all your company's data. Then the magic happens. You analyze it with super fast tools like KQL. And the final step? You act on it using live dashboards, sending alerts, or even kicking off other automated jobs. It's a single, smooth pipeline from start to finish. So let's take a closer look at that first piece, event streams. I really want you to think of this as the universal front door for all your fast-moving data. It doesn't care where the data comes from, whether it's a million sensors on a factory floor or a fire hose of credit card transactions, Event Streams is built to handle it all. All right, so the data is flowing in. Now what? You need to ask it questions, right? And that's where KQL comes in. KQL, that's Kusta Query Language, is the absolute powerhouse here. It was purpose-built for sifting through enormous streams of live data at incredible speeds. For these kinds of real-time jobs, it's honestly way faster and often just feels more natural than old-school SQL. And just look at this example. It's so clean and easy to read. It's basically saying in plain English, hey, look at all the incoming transactions, pull out any that are over $5,000, and then group them up by the user and the card they used. I mean, that's a classic fraud detection query right there. And the key is, it happens instantly on the live stream. But finding something interesting is just one part of the equation. What do you do with that information? Let's look at how we take that raw analysis and turn it into something visual, something you can actually act on in the moment. So let's really trace that fraud example all the way through. Imagine it, a credit card gets swiped. Instantly, that data hits an event stream. Our KQL query immediately flags it as a high-value, potentially sketchy transaction. That can then kick off a machine learning model to score the risk. And at the exact same time, an alert pops up for an analyst and the main dashboard updates in real time. It's a complete automated chain reaction. And here's the kicker. How long does that whole chain reaction take, from the swipe to the alert? We're talking under 200 milliseconds. That is, and I mean this literally, faster than the blink of an eye. That is what we mean when we say real time. And you have to understand, these dashboards aren't your typical BI report. There is no refresh button. You don't have to go looking for the data. The insights are pushed to your screen the instant they are discovered. It becomes this living, breathing view of your operations. It's constantly watching, ready to flag something weird or feed data directly into your other systems. But here's what I think is the most powerful part of the whole thing. This real-time engine, it isn't off in its own little world. It's not a silo. It is woven directly into the fabric, no pun intended, of the entire data platform. And what does that mean? It means you can do something incredible. You can take that live, streaming data and join it with all your historical data. So going back to our fraud example, imagine that suspicious transaction comes in. You're not just checking it against a simple rule, you're instantly comparing it against that customer's entire 6-year history with your company. That kind of deep context, in milliseconds, that's the holy grail. That's the power of bringing real-time and historical data together. And as you can probably guess, the use cases for this are just everywhere. It's not just for banks detecting fraud. It's for retailers figuring out why someone abandoned their shopping cart. It's for telcos spotting network problems before they cause an outage. It's for manufacturers predicting when a machine is about to fail. This isn't some niche tool for a few companies. This is a foundational shift for almost every single industry out there. So let's just quickly wrap up the key pieces. You've got event streams as that one easy way to get all your data in. You've got KQL as the super fast engine to query it. You've got live dashboards to see what's happening right now, and it all comes together in one unified platform where your real-time data, your historical data, your AI, and your BI, they're all playing for the same team. So at the end of the day, what are we really looking at? Fabric isn't just giving you a couple of new tools for streaming data. No, it's handing you a complete, ready-to-go, real-time intelligence system. You know, for years and years, the sheer complexity of this stuff has been a huge roadblock. It stops so many great ideas from ever getting off the ground. So the question I want to leave you with is a simple one. What could you build if all that complexity just disappeared?